Americans are getting price increases in every category across the board. And one of these categories I haven't really talked about is electricity. And today we're going to talk about it because I have an article showing right up here. And this is absolutely crazy. This will hit you, every American, the same. And if you are not in the top 5%, it's going to really sting. Utilities have requested $29 billion in rate hikes for 2025. So I'm going to show you another stay-at-home mom, I think she is, and she's literally crashing out over her utility bill that just got sky high from one month to the other, because these utility companies need to ask for approval because they're local monopolies. So they got to ask the state or wherever or the local municipality to do rate hikes. And they just did that. And let's watch this creator completely lose it over the rate hike.
I just got my power bill for next month, and it is almost $500. No, we turning every light off in this house. We're unplugging the refrigerator. $500.
So as we're seeing that these rate hikes are just going crazy. Some blame it on AI, but I think the real kicker is this one, because private equity is coming for utilities. And we're seeing BlackRock and all these other companies are starting to buy these utility companies because of AI and these rate hikes that they can do. And all of a sudden, they have basically a money printing machine. And when I'm looking at it, it's not just that electricity is sky high, it is that the average cost of car insurance rose more than 25% in 2024. And that's not all. Homeowners insurance in that time also rose to new highs. And now let me ask you, which state do you think is the most impacted by these homeowners insurance rate hikes? Do you think it's Florida? Is it California? And I think you'd be surprised to see that the number one change was in Utah with 59%, then Illinois, then Arizona with 48%, Pennsylvania, Nebraska, Kentucky, Minnesota, and all the way down at number, what is it? I think 13 is Florida. And my state, Nevada, that I didn't even know that they had that many natural disasters, is on 34 with a 13% rate hike. So homeowners insurance has soared over 50% in these states. So we're looking at that homeowners insurance is up 50%, electricity is sky high. We're looking at car insurance 25%. And now let me ask you this, how much do you think your salary went up over this time? And I'm waiting because it only went up about 4%. I don't know people, and at least not in my friend circle, that said they got a 10, 15, 20% raise. And so let me know if you know anybody that gotten a raise like that in the recent time. I've seen it during COVID where they got huge raises and stuff like that, but now it's not happening. Now they're giving people pink slips. So if you haven't, please like and subscribe. Make sure that bell notification is on, and so you don't miss an upload. And when I'm talking about all this stuff and I'm talking about what you can do against it, is you really gotta shop around. So in the case of electricity, what they did to me was all of a sudden they sent this super low email and saying that, hey, you're actually on a time of use now. And what does that mean? That means that during 6 to 9 p.m., your electricity is way more expensive, 4 to 5 times more expensive than it is during off-peak hours. And you got to really check and make sure that you're not using electricity during that time, because it is 4 times more expensive. So what do? You basically program in on your thermostat at the house to cool your house down to 65 or something Fahrenheit, to then start at 5. So at 6 o'clock, you just constantly kind of let that temperature go up. And as soon as that peak power, that peak pricing is off at 9:01, you kick it back to 75 or wherever you kind of want to be at. But just let that constantly kind of creep up, because it's going to save you money. And I'm telling you, you got to start looking at every bill. See how you can optimize. How can you get insurance? Call Geico, call Progressive, call all these other companies to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck. Because I'm telling you, if you're not going to start doing that, these companies are keep doing rate hikes. Homeowners insurance, rate hike after rate hike. And it's going to start really impacting you. And guess what? All these utility company, all these big investment companies, all these hedge funds are going to look at it. If Americans have $3,000 to allocate towards housing, why don't we just jack up the pricing? And this is a theory I have. They're going to jack up the prices on electricity, insurance, and that's going to squeeze property values. So why would that squeeze property values? Because everything else is super sky high. Insurance, property taxes, HOA, and electricity, and sewer, and everything else, and it's creeping up to $2,000. Then you have another $1,000 left for your mortgage, for your that you can allocate towards debt on your house. And so that means that even though we're thinking that, oh, homes are going to be the best investment, if it's going to continue like this, where everything's going to go towards, and salaries don't go up, homes are going to be more, it's going to be harder to afford these houses. And then you either got to sell or rent something. And yeah, this is what's going to happen when these utility companies are getting bought up by big investment companies, by BlackRock and all these kind of other stuff. So make sure that you're saving money, that you're looking at your bills and trying to get a side hustle, and keep saying it, that you can do and make a few extra dollars. And so you can kind of offset that high cost and still kind of stay ahead with invest in your 401k and kind of do all that, so you don't have to finance groceries. Because I've been telling you guys a long time now that people are defaulting on grocery loans. They've been defaulting on car loans that they got during COVID, because everybody during good times when they're making money, it's easy to spend it. But now coming back down, when money's harder to come by, you got to fight for your job. People don't know how to do it. The same thing goes for CEOs. They don't know how to operate in high interest environments, and the only way that they know how is letting people go. They don't know how to make the product better, make it more lucrative, or anything else. No. They're just like, let me cut the head count, and that's an easy way for me to boost my numbers, make it look good. And then they say, oh, we'll just throw in a little bit of AI tools and tell our workers to just kind of keep on going, so that they feel semi-supported, right? And this is where we're at in 2025. And you gotta start getting ahead with saving money, with looking at, ooh, maybe I shouldn't cool my house down at 7 o'clock. Maybe I shouldn't do any car charging during that time. And yeah, you gotta start learning and start reading those emails. Because what happened to me with NV Energy, they just sent me that slow email. Nothing was publicized on the news, locally, nothing. They just slow email. And I don't think it was rate hikes even. I think it was just the header was updates or something like it. So make sure that you call, if you don't know, your electricity company and say, hey, do I have time of use? Or you look on your bill, because when you look on your bill, there's a bunch of numbers and you don't even know what it is about or anything. So make sure you know what's going on. And this is what I'm keep telling people. Know what you're dealing with. Once you know, you can deal with the cause, you can deal with the problem, and you can see, I'm spending, I don't know, $200-300 on electricity, and you can call them up. Yeah, you might wait 45 minutes to an hour to talk to somebody and say, hey, can you explain what RUC or whatever these crazy numbers are? And you might say, oh, this is on peak pricing. You use all your electricity during that time. And then it's like, okay, let's transfer my usage to after that. Maybe I need to look into power walls. Maybe I need to look in something like that. But you got to run the numbers, because just spending $8,000-12,000 on a power wall might not be worth it if you're only using a certain amount of electricity. And you got to affect how long the ROI is. And if the ROI is more than a few years, it's probably not worth it. Because if you're going to make an investment, you need to get paid back. The same with solar. You got to get paid back in a matter of years, not decades. And this is just another thing that you guys got to look into. And it's easier for me, at least, to pick up another side gig to do that than it is to, hey, let me invest in solar and see, oh, solar prices is $17,000, to then cut down on $200 electric bill. Doesn't really make sense, right? But you gotta figure out how and when it's worth it, because you want to get paid back in 2 to 3 or 4 years. And if you can say it's a 3-year investment, we're good. But if it's 17, 18 years, nah, not good. Turn it down. You're better off investing in the stock market or something else where you can get a bigger return and guaranteed money. But yeah, this is just the name of the game. Everybody's just trying to make it in today's world. And yeah, I think home values with the stuff that's keep going up, you're seeing it in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is one of the most has one of the most house price or the most listings on the market and most amount of value that they ever have been, and they're still building like crazy. And people don't learn. They don't learn from their first time. They don't learn from their second time. It's like we're just repeating. It's like we have like short eyesight, you know. We'll remember till Friday what happened last Friday, and then everything else is no, no, no. We're not. During COVID, the same thing. People got money. They thought, oh, now I got money. It's the free money train's never going to stop. We're never going to have high interest rates ever again. Sure enough, we have high interest rates again. And people didn't save money. People didn't pay off debt. People didn't do the right thing because they thought it would never, ever stop. And this is why I keep telling you, get some books, get some audiobooks, get Atomic Habits, get 48 Laws of Power. Start listening to those audiobooks or buy the hardcover if you want to. And start looking at, how can I become better 1% every day? How can I become better habits? So then AI won't touch me. AI doesn't can't do what I do, or AI can't do good enough sales yet. And I have a 5, 6, 7 year head start on AI because I know the downfalls. But you got to subscribe to an AI tool, not just a free version, and see, oh, AI agent, that might help me out. That might help me respond to a bunch of emails. That might help me do all this kind of other stuff. So it's still flimsy, still makes a lot of mistakes, but it's coming. And when I'm telling you, you just got to start looking into all these things that are going on, because you got to educate yourself and not watch, Love Island on Netflix and all these other shows, because these are distractions. These are things that you're like, oh, let's watch Love Island, let's watch all these other shows. Learn a little bit. Watch it for 20 minutes and then say, let me read for 15. Let me watch an audiobook for 15. Or let me find something else to do. Or maybe let me look at what my industry is doing for 15 minutes. And so you use this like micro learning strategy and start becoming better. But people, I'm telling you, most of them don't want to do that. So if you start implementing that, you will become a rock star. Just Albert Einstein said it. Just do it 15 minutes every day. And once you're starting to do that in the habit, getting into the habit of becoming better and becoming just a little bit better every day, the world's going to be your playground. I'm telling you, most people don't want to do it. Most people don't want to go and do the extra hard work. Most people don't want to go to the gym workout. Most people don't want to go and network at events. Most people don't want to do project portfolios when they're applying. Most people don't want to go the extra mile of reaching out to the recruiter and doing all kinds of stuff. Most people don't want to go that extra mile. But if you watch this video and you're going to do that, I think you're going to have a great future. Just learn by doing. Learn by your mistakes. So learn by your mistakes, but it's easier said than done. You got to be aware. I've seen people that message me and that are still stuck 8, 9 months down the. So I'm still getting messages from people that had conversations with 9 months. They're still in the same rut, but they're telling me that the job market's not great. They're telling me that, oh, this isn't great. So what have you changed? I asked them straight up, what have you changed with job searching, with your habits, with how you present yourself? Nothing. So you're expecting a change, but you haven't changed? Wrong. You got to change a little bit. You got to start becoming a better version and then say, oh, I made these changes and it's still not working. Well, then change it again. Do slight changes. Every application, do a little bit better. Every interview or every networking event, do a little bit better. And once you're starting to do that, you will see the changes. But people don't want to change. People said, oh, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been doing this. I'm not going to change. Well, then good luck staying unemployed. But you got to start learning how to utilize techniques, tools, AIs, how to help you, how to do all this other stuff. And there's something about a lot of people that they don't want help. And this is just my take, and I want to hear your take on it. Is this something that's just engraved in people, like they've been coasting, they've been doing this for 5, 10 years, and all of a sudden their world gets rocked with, hey, you're fired. And then all of a sudden, then they're scrambling. They do sprints rather than marathon. Instead of applying a few hours every day. They go sit down on the computer and say, I need a job tomorrow. So they're going to sit down, do 20 hours and do that for 5, 6, 7, 8 days, get completely burnt out and send out, I don't know, 500, 600 applications in that time frame. With AI, they buy these tools, they invest a few $100s and just spread everywhere, and nothing is fruitful. And then they get super discouraged and kind of drop the ball and says, I did it, I'm done, and everything else, rather than just saying, let me just take 3, 4 hours of me actually doing the work, and then I'm gonna learn, take my lessons from it, and then kind of go from there and see how I can then do better. Because everybody wants to sprint. America is a society of today. And if you're in the position like that, let me know, because we are in crazy world. We're in crazy world territory. Everything went up 25, 50%. Salaries, they're saying 4%, but I don't think so. So now it's time for you to level up your game. It is time for you to start becoming better and learning about it. Unless you're retired, you're sitting at the beach. I know I have a bunch of viewers that are like, I'm just sitting at the beach, hanging out. I'd walk in the morning at the beach, I drink my coffee, and I'm done. I have a few rental properties paid off, lost everything in 2008. Congratulations. These are the people that should be teaching at colleges how they've done it. Those should be professors and say, hey, I lost everything in 08, and it took me almost 10, 15 years to rebuild it. How did you rebuild it? And we should listen to these people, but no, we listen to these gurus that drive Lamborghinis, and we watch what these celebrities do and crash out over that, rather than focusing on stuff that truly, truly matters, on how we can get better, how to better your lifestyle. We cancel these creators that say something stupid, rather than like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't tune in. Maybe that is toxic for me. Maybe I should read a magazine that will benefit me in my career instead, and just turn it off. But it's polarizing, gets the emotion going. So yeah, this is kind of where we're at. Everything's sky high. So let me know how you're tackling it. And I'm just, my philosophy, make more money, do better thumbnails, do better videos, do better sales, streamline my companies, trying to get better at construction, kind of get better at all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is it. This is Las Vegas, and it is getting muggy. I'm starting to feel it. But I got my walk in. That's a habit of mine. I got to get my walks in every day, 15 to 20 minutes, and try not to balloon up like a balloon, and just trying to make it, trying to get ready for Calvin, because he's going to come in, I think, 10 weeks. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. If you haven't, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.